You are live.
Hey, we're live. Look at that. He's like right here.
I
too.
am right here. And
some of him, anyway. What happened to you?
Man, I had to lose some weight out here, man.
Sometimes you have to be in person to see
Neck
that.
is kind of small now, man.
I like it. He's Ramon Foster. I'm Dejan Kovacevic, and we are both in Nashville, Tennessee, for this extraordinary episode of the Ramon Foster Show. It's live. It's also involving you. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, leave a comment. Leave your own Hey Moan to be answered right on the spot. We'll get to it right here, but I'm way more interested in this. He got out of his car out here, and I'm like, what'd you do with the rest of you?
You know what? I had to leave it behind for a multitude of reasons, but I'm not the same football player I was, so hey, I'm back.
I saw David DeCastro. I told you about this in Miami just about a couple months ago, and I walked up to him, and I go, what?
Yeah. See, that's the other part, too. A bunch of us, our post-football, have been doing that. Have you not seen Al?
I've not seen Al.
Al,
I'm sure I wouldn't recognize. I saw Al before.
Yeah, because you know he's like 6'10", and him being like 260, 270 is like a frail human being. Not frail. He looks good still. But all he want to do is go on his boat and fish anyway. So
yeah, Al's got modest ambitions when it comes to the public spotlight.
No. You say that. Nothing about Al is modest.
That's true.
Not even a little bit. Absolutely not.
This is true. We're going to do an all Hey Moan edition. We're going to start with Matthew McKinney, who says, hey, Moan, do you think the Steelers will sign Cam Sutton? I think he's too valuable with his versatility. I hope they don't make the same mistake they did with Mike Hilton. Oh, way to bring that up, man.
Way to bring that up. So this is where I'm at. Pittsburgh has trends, man, a lot of them. And I think one of them is not to make the same mistake twice. That's one of my biggest ones when it comes down to how they operate. You see, of course, you can say to yourself, Mike Hilton got away because Mike was very expensive. What you consider to be a non-important position.
Yeah, that's
until
fair.
you realize his impact, and that same guy have that same impact in a Cam Sutton.
He's a playmaker.
He's a playmaker. Despite anything you think about him, you know he's going to be there, which Cam Sutton has been, which Mike Hilton always was, and you can always count on them knowing and doing their jobs too. That's why I think it works out for him.
Now, my feeling is, and you're the money guy.
Yeah.
My feeling is that Cam's going to cost $3 and $27.
That's fair. You want to know why?
Why?
Because the cap has actually been raised up a whole lot more. What we used to think was high for guys has now been reset by the market. And that's because the NFL is making more money. You put gambling in the middle of it. You put the idea that everybody has that delayed year where they didn't raise the cap and now we're getting it back on the back end. Yeah, that matters more. TV deals actually being more prominent these days. Think about what Apple is doing. Think about what YouTube is doing. Prime is doing. Everybody's got their hand in the NFL pocket, and they're not taking, they're giving. So that's why it's a whole lot higher now.
Well, my other point that I would make is, as it relates to Cam, is you already need a starting cornerback.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you lose Cam, how many do you need?
You know what kind of gets me with Cam's situation too is the fact that you can't allow all your experience to leave.
Right.
It's to your point about the corner. You can't allow your experience to leave. And he is one of those guys. I mean, plus he's just a great dude.
I was going to say, you don't have to wonder about, what are we getting in this guy?
No, you don't have to worry about that.
You don't have to even think about it.
You don't have to worry about that.
Where he's concerned. Captain Spartan says, hey, Moan, I know you said you wanted to play in the SEC, but why Tennessee?
Why Tennessee?
Yeah.
I'm from Tennessee, first and foremost.
Man, way to serve it up for him.
Yeah.
You just come over here, set it on the tee.
I'm from here, but Tennessee was, to me, the upper echelon of what schools, tradition, football play, and getting guys to the NFL was all about. Even if I didn't start early at Tennessee, even if I didn't get drafted, my preparation for the NFL came because of playing at Tennessee and in the SEC. I truly believe that.
Mr. Football in Tennessee.
I was Mr. Football.
He was Mr. Football.
Yes.
I did my research on you.
I mean, it's been over 15 years, BK. You got to look up something.
I got to look up something. These people, even just today, just walking in here where we're shooting here for our fireplace chat.
You see the fireplace?
You see that? We're good.
We are. But it's warm down here today.
We are, by the way, on a little bit of a hill right above Broadway on Nashville, which is where all the action is down there, all the music, live music, every single establishment all through the night.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it in America.
If you hadn't been to Nashville in the last, 5 years?
Yeah.
It's a totally different city.
It really is.
It's country music, but it's everything else. Do you think Pittsburgh would ever get to that point?
We're not known for our music. Okay.
That's
Although I will say that Donnie Iris at 80 years old
Yeah.
sang the national anthem at the Penguins game, and they won big. So now they're going to be wheeling Donnie out there for every wheeling.
I tried to get Pittsburgh Taylor Swift, and they was like, no, she's more Philly.
Oh, geez. John Gorman says, realistically speaking, how active can we expect Omar Khan to be in free agency? The cap space that's in place, Moan, right now is in the 40 range. However, Omar, you have actually dealt literally with Omar. He can be creative.
He can be creative too. And this is the thing too, you got to look at when you say, what are we going to do in free agency? I don't think this year is a real hot year for free agents in general. The other aspect of this too is what are the actual needs of this team? You have a quarterback. You've been proven that you can get wide receivers through the draft, low round guys. So what are you looking for? Are you going to end up signing Bobby Wagner? Is that something we're looking at? Older, aging guy? I know that's enticing, but Pittsburgh has been known to have their guy for a very long time.
He's 33.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't do that.
And then, of course, it comes with a very expensive ticket.
Because of his name, because of what he's done.
That's what I was going to say. You know how many not Pro Bowls, screw the Pro Bowl. This dude's got 9 all pros, first teams.
Yeah, he's Hall of Fame.
In my book, that's first ballot. Anybody that doesn't vote for Bobby Wagner is an idiot. So what positions do we need, though? Is where I'm at. Linebacker.
Well, yeah.
And corner.
I would think more than anything else that what you're looking at is, well, on that note here, Patrick asks us, hey, Moan, where are the inside linebackers coming from with this year's edition of the Steelers? I don't think it's going to be Bobby Wagner. I think, first of all, boy, I get a little edgy about this one, but we mentioned inside linebackers as if it's this vast wasteland. Miles Jack is still on your roster.
Yes, he is.
And there are a lot of teams in the NFL that would take Robert Spillane as their 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
okay.
He's playing a role.
But they love him.
Yeah, they do.
He's the ultimate face in the fan guy.
If you get him for a really good price and the role that he playing never falls off. That's the thing about the league. You cannot fall off from what your role is. The moment that does, he's out.
Yeah, no question about that. So what's left is you have to get somebody else. Now you can dream about a Tremaine Edmonds.
You can.
Buffalo can still franchise him.
They can.
So right now you don't really know. My feeling is that you'll probably end up finding another Miles Jack type.
To start right away, you're saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not going to throw it.
So it's probably going to take some people off. Are you out on Devin Bushman back in Pittsburgh?
Oh, listen to what he just said.
Yeah, because that's a real question. And the only reason I ask that is the ACL.
He is OUTT out.
That really?
Oh,
okay.
Man.
All right.
I'm sorry. I saw things that had nothing to do with an ACL, Mo, and so did you.
Yeah. I did.
When you see a lack of willingness to, engage in contact and stuff, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get that. But the only reason I say that if there is no home for him and he knows Pittsburgh, unless he just doesn't want to be in Pittsburgh.
I mean, he might.
A 1-year deal, 1-year prove-it deal.
Yeah.
And, okay, let's go Tremaine Edmonds really quick, too.
Yeah.
I like the idea because I know he's a ball player. I know his dad's a ball player, and both of his brothers are, too. But at what price?
Yeah, exactly here.
And that's not – it ain't concerning because they actually have more money to work with this year than they ever have before.
They do. They have a lot of cash.
But Omar has to set a precedent as far as what's going to be the standard in Pittsburgh. I don't think – this is my thing with it. Pittsburgh has never been an outsider's land, meaning you don't go get everybody else's free agents.
No.
Has it? It's always been in-house. You might get 1 or 2.
Although, when you rebuild the offensive line by signing James Daniels, by signing Mason Cole, that's 2/5 right there. And they were arguably the 2 biggest components to that group.
In my own, as I wear this O-line mastermind shirt today, is this, though, for me. It was necessary.
What the heck is that?
It was necessary to get that for the young guy or either Miss Trubisky too.
Yeah, no question about that here. Ryan Miller asks, oh, look at all this. This is what I mean when I say all those exclamation points.
Yeah.
Hey, Moan! What is the feeling like on the sideline when Renegade starts playing at home? Now, remember, he is on the sideline when that happens.
I had an anti-Stiller person say this to me. He was like, because we were talking about stadium songs, team songs, Black and Yellow with Wiz and stuff like that. And somebody tweeted at me and said, with that being said, there is something magical about Renegade being played inside of that stadium. And how did I feel as a player was chills. I knew we were still in the game, and I knew more times than not a play was about to be made. And I was of the mindset, get ready to go back out there almost every single time. Get ready to go back out there. Something magical plays.
You're about to get the ball back.
We're about to get the ball back.
That's neat.
A big play is coming. That's what it does for you on the side.
Without getting into some deep musical breakdown of the work of Dennis DeYoung and Tommy Shaw and the artistry that they put into the song.
Yeah.
The whole scene is what works. The scoreboard going completely dark.
The big bass from the speakers.
Everything's coming. And then the oh mama, whatever. And the crowd is at this point louder than the singing. You can barely hear the song.
Yep.
Okay, the part where they just sing.
Do people even know the words to the song?
They know enough.
They know enough. Okay.
You know which word they definitely know?
What?
That one, okay? And when that happens, and like you were saying, the bass and the drums and everything kicks in here, the place goes just bonkers.
It does.
And there's not anything that you can compare that to in sports. I know you're going to – you see – by the way, the Ravens are using like Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
Like, really? Why don't you play Welcome to the Jungle while you're at it? Come on.
Only one I've seen be intimidating, and this was only situational, I think. It was in New Orleans on Halloween playing the Saints, and they played that yin yang. The drums and everything.
It's a U2 and Green Day together doing I think it's called "Here Come the Saints" or something like that.
It is a party in New Orleans.
It was unbelievable. I downloaded that into my phone after that game.
That one only happens when good things happen. Like Renegade happens before something's about to happen.
Oh yeah, Renegade runs the risk. Renegade runs a little bit of a risk there. No question about that. There's a difference right there. Tyler says, why not give Bush the Edmonds deal? That's what he just said.
See, we could be GMs, Tyler, not DK right now.
Ryan says, I was just in Nashville and had to take a short drive to Hendersonville just because that's where Moan is. What'd you do, like roll down your window and shout for him?
He probably yelled, hey, Moan.
That's true here. This one says, hey, DK, hey, Moan, your first 4 in the draft. Oh, I'm not ready for that.
You know what? This week is combine week, though.
Yeah.
My first 4, Chicago's trying to bargain it because they were teasing about a couple weeks ago about Justin Fields being on the trade block.
Yeah.
With that being said, I think they're okay with him, or at least trying to gauge something for the first-round pick, for that first overall pick. My question is, what are you willing to give up for that? And the fact that they're going to move back. Right now, there's conversation that Indy could take Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
That's the only one. I think Will Anderson is really good. I think Jalen Carter out of Georgia is really good. And I think Bryce Young out of Alabama. Yeah. Those are my top 4 if I'm guessing anybody.
I mean, Young is obviously going to be off in his own category to go to a team that needs a quarterback. And that's how the top of the draft always ends up getting structured.
Mm-hmm. It is. But you're going to have to pay a king ransom for that number 1 overall pick, though.
Yeah. Gina wants to know why I look bigger than Moan.
Tell them you've been eating your Wheaties, man.
First of all, look, when we sit back like this, the first thing I hear when people come into the shop downtown is, you're taller than I thought.
You are.
And I go, hang on a second. How does one sound not tall on a podcast?
What? You say that, but on the other side of it, I look at like movie stars and stuff, and I think they're supposed to be bigger.
Yeah. Now you're 6'6".
Yeah, I'm 6'6".
Okay, I'm 6'2". So technically, I'm like this.
Yeah, pretty much. He got a shoulder to lean on at all times.
So yeah. Now, if you mean bigger in another sense,
man,
then I'm definitely.
You're gonna have to stop.
I'm
you
definitely
have to get free coffee out here.
Yeah, there's no question about that here. Joe says we really need OT and CB and inside linebacker.
Listen to me.
But what's Joe missing?
Which one is he missing?
D-line.
Nobody wants, and you know why? And it's such a respect factor, though.
Because
Because Cam is
still there.
He's gone on
and
forever.
You think Cam's going to be there forever.
And you do, but that's the thing about it. Of course, but everybody, what does Father Time usually do? It conquers it all.
Tends to win.
It tends to win. And I'm not saying Cam is slowing down at all, but I look at this situation, says even Batman needed a Robin, like a real Robin, like somebody that you can pass it on. Yeah.
He had Steph. When he had Steph, everything made sense on that. Stephon Tuitt.
Yeah.
When he had everything made sense there. They were able to play off of each other.
Yes.
They were able to be 2 down linemen so that you could get more guys mixed into your, have your safeties up.
But agile enough, though, DK, that they could rush the quarterback and get tackles for loss in the run game. And that's one thing I think Cam needs, and I don't know if he's ready to admit it just yet, but he needs that. And the idea that you can get a first-round D tackle this year, I think is very cool. I know Clemson got a really good one. The one at Georgia is going to be gone way before we get an opportunity to this year. And I want to not go at Joseph, but discuss with Joseph the OL part, the O tackle part. DK, hear me out.
I'm hearing.
The more I have conversations with these guys, the more I feel like they've just gotten tighter, like it's me against the world, and screw everybody that don't believe in our offensive line.
Yeah.
And truthfully, that's how we were. That's how we felt about the fan base, potentially about the team, to where just pulling the curtains back just a little bit. I'm more than sure I was vouched for by Marquise, and I know for a fact I vouched for Al in the sense of like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Like, we're okay. Like, what you need to work, we're seeing these guys develop that. Seeing Chooks post James Daniels like that. Like, watching, honestly, and I think you can agree with this because you're in the locker room, watching Mason Cole become the leader.
Gradually but surely.
Is he not becoming that?
It was not at the outset, yeah.
I think they're almost like, screw you guys.
He recognized the vacancy.
Yes.
That's the best way I can put that. He didn't come in and take over by force.
No.
He recognized the vacancy and the need for someone to be that guy.
So to get a O tackle, that I don't think you're in a position to get one unless that's a 3rd round pick.
Yeah. Let me see what else we got here. 2 things we do is cut Mitch and Bush. You're not cutting Mitch Trubisky. When Art Rooney says Mitch Trubisky's going to be back next season, he's going to be back next season.
That's a good one. What was it about Kendrick?
And he's under contract here.
Go down. Other way.
This way.
Yeah. What was that about Kendrick? Hey.
Saw one. Oh, there it is here from Ryan. He says, I'm trying to get this here to show. Hey, Moan, do you think Kendrick Green has anything to offer the Steelers other than depth? One thing, and I don't say many things in defense of Green's first couple of seasons.
Let me hear this then.
But I have one thing to say, and that is this. He did not have a chance in 2023.
You don't think so?
They played every snap.
Oh, you're saying in 2023. I was about to say, hold up. You mean 2020?
He had all kinds of chances, but he was also thrown head first into not just the fire of being an NFL offensive lineman, but being an NFL center when he wasn't ready to be that.
So let me ask you this when it comes to Kendrick, because you're right. We didn't hear a thing from him, which is great for the guys up front.
He didn't get a helmet.
Was it a mistake giving him the 53 and putting him at center?
I know you feel that way, so why are you asking me?
I feel that way. Okay, so I'm not going to deflect to DK
he doesn't
this
like
time.
It.
I thought it was a mistake by giving Kendrick 53, a title of respect from a guy that had played that position way harder than anybody else in recent history. I felt like it was unfair to him also by expecting his level of play to match that, just because literally somewhat kind of looks like the guy.
Well, it's the lineage too. That's the part that sucks, is you're saying to him, not just that you're going to be the next Marquise, but that, listen, going back to Mike Webster, Dermontti Dawson,
Hardwig, Harding's before that.
But specifically with Webster and Dermontti, Hall of Fame, legendary guys. That the lineage at center has been mind-blowing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then you're saying to him, hey, here, you do this.
You do this
Go
with
get
53
him,
on.
Go get him, kid.
I didn't like that. So how much are you getting from him? Probably depth. What you have is experience in case somebody gets injured. What you have is a guy that's gone through What is this? His second coaching change.
Yep.
So he understands adjustments when it comes down to the O-line room. And his best bet would be to try to develop a side leadership role to where young guys can come to him and he always makes himself valuable every single year in camp.
Yeah, no question about that here. I got one here from Leroy here. Now I lost it.
Yeah, I saw that. The sweepstakes.
Yeah, it looked like it was good too.
Yeah.
Here, Mark says, you guys still think Josh Dobbs is coming back to be the backup QB? I don't think we predicted it.
Let me tell you the answer.
We put it out
right
there
now.
as a scenario.
Listen to me, y'all. If there's anything I know about my day job here in Nashville, the majority of this fan base does not want Josh Dobbs anywhere but in Nashville, Tennessee as a Titan, okay?
Because he came in at the end and played hero
and
for about a week
well.
and a half. Yeah.
His situation is very interesting too, DK. When we speak about backup quarterbacks or Mitch or why it was so important for Kenny Pickett to play quarterback. In this league for quarterbacks, late round, middle of the first, if you don't get in games and get some game film your first year or at the latest going into your second year, you're pretty much hidden and you're labeled as a backup quarterback. It's not many
makes sense.
that ride that wave,
Right here?
Yeah, and trying to be an NFL quarterback if you don't get on the field early. So Kenny had his growing pains, but I think it was worth it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Juan asks, Ramon, are you a believer in the combine or nah? Nah. Go ahead.
Am I a believer in it? I think for certain positions it makes sense.
Which one did it not make?
It makes no sense for O-line.
I knew that's what I was pushing for.
It really makes no sense for quarterbacks. What are you measuring a quarterback on?
How far he can throw a football, I guess.
And what did that equate to in most years for guys?
Not much.
Not
Can
much
he
at
throw
all.
it through a hula hoop 70 yards away?
O-line, quarterback, yeah, maybe even running back. I don't think it, other than the 40 time, quarterbacks who really need a 40 time at quarterback. Either you see their game film shows they're fast or not. Knowing how much an offensive lineman can bench is cute, but I've known guys that bench 40 plus reps that couldn't play like anything.
That makes sense. Demond says, great seeing you guys together. I'm mad I didn't get a notification. I have a feeling, because I can tell that you're on YouTube, Demond, that we do this through a mechanism called StreamYard that sends it out to everywhere. And when that happens, I don't think YouTube sends out notification alerts. This is actually on YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere else. Not to bore you with details of how the stuff works on the back end, but you brought it up. This program is always brought to you by the Get Go Cafe and Market, where quality is at the core of every menu item. Three expert chefs fine-tune every detail so that every sub, burger, salad, wrap, drink, and app is crafted for craveability. Order your favorite at the Get Go Cafe and Market today. Better believe it. See, it's so much better when it's live.
That's my bad. You see, I just go side to side when you really do the comments like that. It's
Boomer's
really
killing you here. Hey, Moan, who were your 3 favorite Steeler teammates?
Oh.
We will be sending notifications out to everyone he doesn't name. Here it goes.
I know. You know who number 1 is. Marquise.
Of course.
Marquise is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Uh-huh.
Ben, because of how our relationship grew. Ben was a really good teammate.
Yes.
And even afterwards, too.
I feel like Ben was somebody that you were going to name in part because of the relationship that it's grown and matured since.
Now, the last one is...
By the way, so has he.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, let's be clear about that. Ben is not what Ben was 10 years ago.
And I think I appreciate him more for that, too. And
He's
just
so much more real.
3 is tough. So I got Marquise, I got Ben. I got number 3.
I do too. Can I predict it?
Oh,
77.
He's close.
Oh,
he's close.
Okay.
You know who's number 3 on that list, man? To this day, 74, Willie Colon.
Oh, you're going back. Okay.
77 is fair.
Okay. 77 is Marcus Gilbert.
Marcus is my dude.
This is false. He is my dude.
He is your dude. I'm gonna say this, and it's so hard to pick between all of those guys. One, I went with my guy that I played with all of my career, Marquise. Then I went with Ben because my appreciation of him as who he is and what he's done. And 3, because Willie showed me so much early on. I could have thrown Max in there. I could have thrown Casey Hampton in there. I could Kiesel really good. Ron Clark, golly, I'm gonna feel bad by not even throwing him in there. Oh man, that's going to be interesting.
No, that's good stuff. What's the largest tab, says Brent, that you had to pay as a rookie?
Me personally,
he says this is for either of you. I was never in the National Football League. Rookie journalist. You know, we don't pick up tabs. We like go into McDonald's.
Largest tab I had to pay was probably my rookie year. $8,000.
That's it.
Yeah, because they made us split it at that point. There was some stuff within the team that had happened. Highest I ever heard anybody paying was like $29,000.
I was gonna say that's where they're hitting now. Although they give the thing is since they've been drafting all these wide receivers early, the receivers don't sweat it because they know they're getting it back
on the second.
The second contract. Everything's good, man.
But listen though, my pay then wasn't what it was now. What rookies get though, so that $8,000 for me,
it was something.
Wasn't a tax write off. Well, yeah, it was. I wrote
what did you sign for?
405.
Yeah.
So rookies now, what's the minimum?
No, the bonus.
Oh, my bonus was $8,000.
I was going to say that's why that number rung
after
the bell.
Taxes, I was like $4,600.
That was what Kevin handed you.
And he was proud to do that too. I heard from him earlier today.
Robert Cotting, breaking news: Ramon has signed a contract to play for a senior flag football team. You wouldn't get this guy for flag football.
No, I'll coach it.
You get him for tackle football.
Yeah, I'll coach it 100%. I enjoy flag football.
That's how that works here.
Largest tab. That's an interesting question. $8,000 though.
That's a good one here. Now, great way to get your question on the show is to throw $10 onto it here.
Yeah,
which this individual just did. Hey guys, I just wanted to say I love your channel. It's such an inspiration and gives me a smile, especially when I have bipolar depression. It gives me something to laugh about. Keep up the work. Good work, and go Pens. First of all, I just have something to say here. If you are candid enough, comfortable enough, confident enough to be able to say something like that, even under a pseudonym here, you are well on the way.
That's what I was going to say.
You are well on the way.
To bring up what I like to call sometimes, everybody deal with them. I call them demons. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got something they're dealing with. You to openly be able to talk about that, that's hats off. And I have no hat, but hats off to you. And
I've been also really heartened to see people in his former line of work step up and say, hey, I'm dealing with something. I'm dealing with something. I need time. It's now no longer what the hell's wrong with you or whatever, the whole stigma that was attached to it, or get your ass out there and play or whatever.
Tough. Yeah, be tough. Did I ever tell you where my wall got broken down with that?
Tell me.
Because of some of my great friends, teammates. Alejandro was a guy that when my mom passed, like, of course, I was one of those sulking days. Everybody would deal with something like that. I took it hard, and Al actually spoke to me about, like, what it means to kind of move forward and move on and stuff like that without forgetting.
Right.
Because Al's life experience is way.
Oh, no. Al's. We don't compare anything in our lives to what Al did.
But in dealing with death or dealing with, chronic issues and whatnot, he was a light bulb for me for sure.
Yeah, no question.
Gino guessed my favorite three.
Gino was going for Keese. Dave and Ben. That's a pretty good call. Dave gave
me three.
Dave is a beloved member. Yeah, that was kind of nasty.
That was nasty. You can't do that.
I don't like it. I don't like it here. We're going to take a couple more today. Gary Anderson says, hey, good afternoon. What do you guys make out of Kenny and the skill players getting together in Florida for some workouts? It matters.
It does.
Okay, it matters. There's a vibe, isn't there, that gets developed.
It's that, and you also see him taking the reins of trying to accept leadership too. That to me, I think, is more important in this role and getting on the same page. One thing I heard about Brady was in these type of segments, they figured out how each guy liked the ball. Where you wanted it, where do you best catch it? Do you want, a ball leading you more? What's the conversation like on back shoulder fades? Like, this is where they do all of that.
This is, we're in the city right now in Nashville where the Titans were accused, rightly so, of cheating. Remember this? When Ryan Fitzpatrick, or not Ryan Fitzpatrick, what's his name?
Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill they had a secret session out at the college just
Oh,
outside.
yeah.
Remember this?
Yeah, I know.
Some small school, whatever, and they just showed up at a ball field pretending this was in COVID time when you weren't allowed to do this.
We weren't supposed to be together.
And they were like, they just had to do it. So it was him and the receivers showed up on campus acting like they're students and whatever else, and they go out onto the field and they're catching passes. Yep. Like within 5 minutes, the whole campus is there going, "It's the Titans!"
Yeah,
and they're all texting everybody. It's like, "How did you get caught?"
Well, you look different than regular people, running routes and whatnot. That was interesting, but that's good on him, man, because that starts the beginning of his leadership role for this team.
This is great. You look at Ron, our brother Ron Slay comes in and says, "DK in Nashville, there's a hockey game tomorrow here." Don't tell me, Ron, you didn't know that there was a hockey game right down the hill here.
What's crazy? He's supposed to be on air right now.
What's that all about?
I'm telling my boss.
You got work to do, Mr. Slay. What are you doing there? Let's see. Robert says we should have a Q&A every month here. I like the live format. I really do.
Someone else said the same thing.
Damon says the same thing here as well.
I was gonna say do that.
Here we go. Right there. Corey Hewen says, "Oh boy, hey Mo, do you think OL will get smaller in the coming eras due to it being hard to find big men who want to play these days?" What does that mean? Do you understand?
You know what? I do know what that means.
What's that mean?
Are they going to get smaller and more athletic? See them in space more, meaning like your slender built offensive lineman, old tackle weighing, let's say 6'6", weighing 285.
Oh,
no! Okay. Listen to me.
You're going to Tunch and Wolf era here.
Yeah, no. I used to think that it was trending that way. I felt a certain type of way about this. Like I got to get small. I got to make sure my speed is good. That's all I was worried. I gotta, because I thought what I was seeing was the NFL trend to smaller linemen. And let me tell you this, no, it's not. The dudes that I saw coming out this year, which is a crap load of them, they are bigger. They're still athletic as heck, and teams won't size because you got to be able to beat people up. It's rare that you can find big dudes that can move the way these guys do, and I think that's why the league is embracing it. Darnell Wright is a big dude. What's his name? Damon Jones, I think, coming out of Ohio State. DeWand Jones, coming out of Ohio State. They were gushing over this guy.
They kind of should.
Listen to me, 6'8", 370. He'll probably get down to 360, but is a animal when it comes down to the way he was playing. I think Paris Johnson is a bigger guy that's like 320. Guys aren't getting smaller. They're getting more athletic. Yeah. And also is another thing, too. There's more specialty to play OL these days. This sweatshirt I have on now is where most guys go to combine train. Mm-hmm. They're teaching you the game a whole lot more. So I was thinking that, and people want maulers.
That's the thing. I was about to say here to you, Corey, that if we could end this conversation in a split second, if you walked up to Chuks Okorafor and he's wearing just like an exercise thing where you could see what he's built like. Yeah. And you'd be like, oh yeah, no, they're not getting smaller.
No,
because if you can have that frame, Chuks' frame, and the inherent athleticism that he has, why would you trade down size-wise?
So,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
And there are enough. It's 32 teams, my man. You need 64 total tackles.
Like athletically, tackles are probably going to be more slender dudes, more basketball type, but they're still going to be 3 bills. Plus, for the most part, the number one guard coming out this year, in my mind, Osiris Torrance from Florida.
Okay.
About 6'5", 6'6", probably holding about 335. But he's a monster. He's a mauler. He's a guy that moves well, blocks well. No, I don't think that's the case. I used to, though.
No, that's Gary asks if you're going to the Penguins-Preds game. I know you were trying to get tickets.
I was trying to, but my kid got a baseball game. This is that time of year.
Kid goes first.
He pitched a hell of a game this past weekend, too. 5 innings, 60 pitches, 11 strikeouts. He worked them one hit, too, by the way. Just going to throw that out there if the Pirates ever need somebody.
Oh, man. A couple more today. Austin Dunbar says, hey, Moan, favorite meal that you could get while with the team?
With the team inside the building was the omelets that Kevin and his crew made.
See, the best part is I don't even think Austin meant that, but I knew you would answer it that way.
I got two answers.
On the South Side cafeteria, the players swear by it, and they should, because the chef there will literally cater to the indivial player's needs, whether you are Ben Roethlisberger or you are the 53rd guy on the roster. There's such passion in the work that they do, including staff. But by the way, we're allowed to eat there.
You are.
Which is really rare. We sit there at the cafeteria table with the players, which is like, we don't sit at your table. That would get our ass.
Y'all in the corner over there. Those, I'm gonna tell you this, and you know those Heath cookies that are in there.
Yeah. Oh no.
You got to hit the elliptical after that one.
Yeah, that's something here. All right, our last one today. Okay, well, we can't end on this. Brian says, "Are we supposed to say hey Moan to get questions answered?" No, Brian, you just got to ask an actual question.
That's it, Brian.
That's not one right there.
A question, asking a question about a question.
Brent Schaefer asks, love the show, guys. Hey, Moan, I've always been a big fan since you signed my terrible towel when they still did Steelers versus Teachers basketball games. That was South Hills. South Hills, right?
When did they stop the pandemic?
Yeah.
God, they need to get that back.
Yeah, I think that was either St. Clair or Mount Lebanon. I'm not sure which of the two, but I want to say it was in the South Hills somewhere here. I remember it was you, Louis Lips, and Ross Van. Yeah. I wonder who was under the hoop out of that group.
This guy. Let me tell you, I enjoyed that so much. One, because it was for charity and everything, but you got an opportunity to go in the community. And you know how it is with OL. People don't really know you like that. So to be going up against folks for fun, unless she was going up again. Let me tell you, what's the name of the school? TJ?
Thomas Jefferson, yeah.
Hey, listen. They were out there trying to get scholarships, man. I'm like, yo, this is for charity. Why are you trying to elbow me like this? But I couldn't go back at them because that would have been illegal.
No, that's good stuff here. All right, two more real quick here. Captain Spartan says, currently wanting to travel in the U.S. What are some places and restaurants you all recommend?
Nashville.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
The people from here tell you not to come here, but Nashville. Yeah. And you say you live in Kentucky? Oh my gosh, that's an easy ride,
dude. It's
But another easy drive. I drive through Kentucky to go to Pittsburgh. Go up to Pittsburgh.
Our number two business. Our number two business. Number two industry in the city of Pittsburgh is tourism.
Is it? Mm-hmm. I would even tell them, DK, go to Baltimore, get some crabs, man. I think the pier part of Baltimore is really good.
If you try hard enough, you can find something to like in almost every American city. DC? Except anything at all in Florida.
Yeah. You were not a Florida fan.
No, that's where I'm going after this, unfortunately. I had one more that I saw that I wanted to get, and it was right down. Here's where we end. It's from our man Rick, who just says, love your show, catch an early episode. Thanks for all the great commentary and laughs. I'm going to look into the notification thing because I like doing this live.
Cool.
This was actually fun.
This. We could probably in the off season just do open discussion like this instead of just a designated show.
Instead of those ones where we get on and we look at each other and go, oh.
This is pretty cool, man. I think we've had
too.
Over 200 on here so far.
Well, that's just live, and they're always interchangeable. By the time we end up, by the time everybody gets to see the recording of this, it goes into some other bracket, but it's fun.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
It's
man.
fun.
This
Thanks,
awesome.
You guys made it. That's really cool.
It did. Appreciate this.
Yeah,
DK. We should do this more often.
I'm gonna go cover a hockey game. You take care of your kid.
Baseball and just everything. And I'm cooking tonight too.
Is that right?
Yeah,
see, you don't have to. You don't have to go to Florida this week.
And most pro guys don't have personal chefs and maids around the house. We do day-to-day stuff. I was cutting my yard for a while until I almost flipped the lawnmower over. Yeah, I got a hill going on my yard. I'm riding it, and it tips back. I was like,
The rolling hills of Hendersonville,
Look at that
Tennessee.
finger right there.
That was a lot of AFC North in that finger there. Look at that.
Thumb bends down.
AFC North football. Yeah. That's what they say.
That's what they say. Give your all for, right?
And that was just in somebody's helmet. He was supposed to have his hands there anyway.
That's exactly what I broke that one. The guy tried to pull away with this finger right here, and I held on to it. I was being I was being a
yeah,
guy.
Yeah. See, there's illegal hands to the face, and then there's immoral hands to the face.
He pulled away and stretched the ligament.
There's some striped helmet marks.
Yes, it is.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll have another show for you on. It won't be tomorrow, but it'll be Wednesday.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Yeah.